Hey folks, we are back. You're listening to the Messy Truths podcast. This is Mar, and I am recording from a very snowy and rainy and slushy Montreal.
Are you serious? It's snowing there?
Merry Christmas to you.
This place
all.
sucks.
No.
Nisha J, eating the din din, coming from Kanagahage, down south to my sister. It's much warmer down south, I gotta say.
You know what? It's actually not that warm, but I am shocked that you guys have snow right now.
It's disgusting, but we expect it. It's the last snowfall.
But this is Azar recording from New York City, should I say, and the weather is absolutely horrid, but at least there's no snow. It's freezing. It feels like winter again. But we're back and we missed you.
We're back. We were away for a little bit, but we are back. It is episode 30, y'all. 30.
I love it.
We made it to 30.
It.
And today we are back here joining you to talk about our favorite apps. Apps of all kinds of different types, categories. Hopefully this will be a helpful episode to you all. I've got a pretty varied list of things I'd like to think.
A robust list.
Yes, and we've all picked our favorites to share with all the listeners. I just want to say first before we get started, shout out to all the listeners across the US. There's been more and more listeners across like Kentucky and Tennessee and Missouri and California. Well, California always was a hot spot, and New York and New Jersey, of course, and Philly. Shout out to Philly as well as
That's because I was there.
Oh no, even before you went to Pennsylvania, there's we've had listeners from Penn State. So shout out to all the listeners, and even some international ones too, like in Germany and the Netherlands and so forth, and Nigeria. Can't forget Nigeria.
Oh my God, I love it.
There seems to be this obsession with our top 10 breakup songs episode. I don't know why, but it's like our number one most downloaded show within
That's amazing.
like the last 30 days. It's crazy. So
we were so vulnerable.
So vulnerable. Good choice of music, I guess. You know, people were really feeling that. So, yeah, we appreciate it. And if you really like those episodes, you should share them. Share them with your friends and family members. Mm-hmm. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast on your favorite streaming platforms. And don't forget to review us. We love reviews. Any review would be great, especially on Apple. That would be greatly appreciated.
Please and thank you.
Speaking of Apple,
mm-hmm.
By the way, viewers, I'm really like digging into this pokey during this episode.
You don't need to tell them
recording later. I do, because I like pokey, and it goes part of my apps. But speaking of Apple, one of my favorite apps is Apple Fitness. I love them.
I think you've mentioned this before on one of our episodes.
And I'd love us to tag the trainers I love the most. So I decided my husband was getting me an Apple Watch for my birthday. And it comes with Apple Fitness. And I used to be a Beachbody chick. I liked Beachbody.
Mm-hmm.
And then Apple Fitness came. So one thing that people know who work out is that you need variety as the spice of your exercise life.
Oh, absolutely.
So I really liked Apple Fitness because they come in intervals, 10-minute workouts, 20 minutes, 30, 45. They have Pilates, yoga, strength, dance, walk. It's cool. But what really made me fall in love with the app was its ease. So we should have a criteria of why we love the app, right? Like easy to navigate, accessible, doesn't crash, reliable, and I don't know, maybe a wow factor. So all of those things are Apple. I love the whole, the marketing of the Apple Fitness. It gives you rewards when you work out, and you don't get anything, but it's like that motivation. It gives you these rewards. But what it really is, it's the trainers. I feel they're very personable, and they respond to you on Instagram. Well, they respond to me on Instagram, and I like that. So there's one trainer in particular I have to shout out. She's British. Her name is Kim, She does a lot of the hit, and now she's in strengthening because all the Apple trainers got pregnant. But she's British, and she's Vietnamese, I believe, and she is hilarious. Like those hit workouts be a mother effer. And she's like, "Come on, you can do it." And she makes noises. And then I shouted her out, and she's like, "Oh, I really like hearing that." And I thought, and we have the same taste in music. So I really like this app because it's easy to access. It makes me feel good. I like the variety of the routines, but most importantly, I love the Apple Fitness squad. So Kim, Sam, even Anya. Anya has hard workouts, so I often avoid hers, but they're okay. Molly, the older lady who does yoga, I love their vibe. They give me the impression and the perception that they're all down with each other. Bakari, all of them. I love them all. So that's my number one app. Speaking of Apple, it has to be Apple Fitness. So shout out to
Mm.
Apple Fitness.
I have a question. So, Mar, do you have an iPhone?
No, I'm an Android girl. Android till the day I die.
So you don't have access to Apple Fitness, correct?
No, I don't.
Right. Neither do I. And that is my contribution to your favorite app, and that Apple can be so pretentious in that way that if you don't have an iPhone or an Apple product, you don't get to play. You don't get to sit
I
with
love it.
us
Mm-hmm.
at this table. And
I
that,
love
I
it.
have to tell you, is the one thing that bothers me about
But it's
Apple,
all marketing,
because
right?
I mean, it
You have
makes
to be part of the
sense.
Apple gang,
Gotta
right?
be part of
Apple
the
Yeah,
gang,
group,
yeah.
gang.
You
right?
And
guys
I
are all
actually
part
like
of
it.
an exclusive club, though. That's the thing. You're part
It's
of an
not really
exclusive club.
exclusive. Android's cool, but I am an Apple. Well, the truth is I use both sides of my brain because I use a PC and an Apple.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a little bit of bougie Apple bouginess that I like. I
There
buy
is.
into it a lot. I buy into it. But I remain with Apple because I really like Apple Fitness. Like it's actually take it to a new level. Like, and
Oh, that's
again,
fair.
as if that whole group of trainers moved to Google or Chrome or whatever, I would follow them. It's really them I
Oh,
like.
I love
They
that.
motivate
That's
me.
good to
When
know.
I'm working out, I feel like homeboy. Like today I had, who is my trainer? Oh, what's his name? It's the guy. He's really funny. Like he can dance too. But I feel like they're in the screen with me because I get up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 to do workouts. And he's like, "Come on, I see you there." And I don't know. It really feels like he's there. So I enjoy the workout. So I really enjoy them. They've chose people who are very personable and able to touch you through the screen. So
They get paid
I
well
like
for what
them.
they
Yeah.
do. It's
Well,
all
they
part
should
of
get
the
raises,
engagement.
especially, yeah.
It's part of the engagement. You have to do that in order to,
Yeah.
continue to have followers and subscribers and so forth. I mean, I don't have an equivalent of Apple Fitness on Android. Do you, Oz?
I do. I have, well, the Peloton app, and that's just because it's attached to the Peloton. And I have the same
Mm.
kind of attachment to the trainers as Nesha does. And the Peloton app is available on both Android and Apple devices,
Ah,
FYI.
well, there you go.
Um, but the Peloton, the Peloton
Peloton kills
community
people, remember?
definitely, no, it does not. That was a myth. They cleared that whole thing up with 1 30-second advertisement. But the Peloton community seems to have grown a lot since the pandemic, and I, just like Nisha, was a big fan of Beachbody, and ever since I got a Peloton, I feel very close. Like I have a kinship with the trainers at
The trainers,
Peloton.
yeah.
Yes, like I love Cody Rigsby, Tunde, Alex, Chase Tucker,
I
Jess.
love
I
how you
mean,
guys are like on a
yes,
first name basis with these
these are,
trainers.
well, that's how you feel. I mean, especially if you work out with them on a regular basis and they're literally like talking to you through the screen. And so I definitely ride the Peloton, but when I'm doing my strength training, I use the app on my phone. I find that a little bit easier, and I can do it
Mm.
anywhere I go. And I love the strength training classes on the Peloton app. So yes, for me that would be the equivalent. And once I became a part of the Peloton community, I feel like I did kind of phase off of Beachbody as well. So They're definitely more sticky. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, poor Beachbody. Like, still shout out. I still do a good Beachbody workout. I like the variety, right? So Apple introduced Pilates. By the way, I'm not a fan of Pilates. I used to hate yoga, and then I met Pilates. So yeah, I'm a big anti Pilates fan. But I have to say, her name is Miraba. Yeah, that's the Pilates instructor on Apple. She makes it okay for me. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't like it. I really like the fact that they have like meditation. But you're right, Oz. It's the winning formula, right? Whether it's
Mhm.
Apple, Beachbody, Peloton, whatever workout thing you have, if the trainer can connect with you through a screen, you're golden. You're
Mhm.
golden. And that's why I don't want to say it's my top app, but it is the app that I have used every day since I've gotten my Apple Watch.
There you
Mm.
And
go.
I love the rewards. Like, I'm looking at some of my rewards because I've worked out 73 minutes today. So
Good for
I've gotten
you.
awards. Yeah, I like the fact that they give me awards. I just wish they would give me prizes with the awards. Then I would be happier. Um, the perfect week, 7-week workout, International Women's Day, Lunar New Year, Heart Month, Black, and the songs are catered to what's going on. March challenge, move goal, and they tell you how many times you've gotten it. So for example, I've gotten like one of them 7-day workout, I've gotten 62 times.
Mhm.
Or they give
Mm.
you, so I like that, like for the intrinsic motivated person who can motivate themselves and doesn't need someone to say, okay, move your backside, da 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 da. It works well. Yeah.
The psychology is there, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Mar, since you don't have an equivalent, what would be one of your favorite apps? Tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Um so guys, I too was a Beachbody fan. T25, which I believe you
Mm,
were the one who downloaded that for me, Oz. I think you were the one who
potentially.
downloaded, or possibly someone in the IT department of where I used to work. I
Well,
think they
whatever.
got me
Mm,
the meal plan, but yeah, I lost like 50 pounds on T25 back in the day.
mm-hmm.
So I feel like that gave me a really good foundation for discipline. It was really good because I created my own schedule. Anyone who knows T25, it's like 25 minutes of HIT exercise every single day. You don't have to do it every single day. It should be like 6 days a week, but I would do two workouts on Friday, so I would not have to do it on Saturday
Mm,
because I was like, all right, that's enough, you know. And so ever since then, I feel like it's given me a really good ability to be disciplined. And so obviously during the pandemic, I fell off a bit. And this year, I promised myself that I would get back on the horse and start getting back in the gym once they open. And I did. And I realized that I don't really rely on fitness apps to help me. What I usually do is I go, well, I guess Instagram is kind of my fitness app. I follow personal trainers. I look at all of the exercises that they recommend doing for flat tummies and rounded, more rounded hips and um, less fatty backs, how to get rid of the back fat, compound exercises. I just feel like I need that variety. And I always find that through the personal trainers I follow, or just happen to see in my feed on Instagram. And so
Mm.
I would say I'm more of a self motivator. I'm my
yes,
own trainer, I
You're next
guess.
level. I love
you
it.
are.
Next level.
But I do heavily rely still on my fitness pal. It's like my daily app. I told myself at the beginning of the year that I wasn't going to micromanage my meals, and then I had a medical condition that I had to deal with, and I realized that in order to relieve that medical condition, I actually have to lose more fat. And so I went back to using my fitness pal, which is the app that everyone uses for weight loss and fitness. You get recipe suggestions on there. And that is where I log all of my food, all of my meals, all of my food diary is in that app. So
Love it.
everything is in there. And to accompany that, what I also do is, I don't want to trigger anyone, but I'm going to bring
Mm-mm.
up the smart scale.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry, Nisha.
No, Smart Scale and I are getting along because Smart Scale's telling the truth now
Okay,
Oh,
about
good,
how
good.
much
good.
weight I've lost. Smart
So
Scale was a lying heifer at one point.
so several years ago, I got a smart scale as a gift, and it was the One by One Health smart scale. It's several years old, so it's not as state of the art as it is today. But the cool thing is that it comes with an app, and that app is pretty precise in terms of everything that it measures when you weigh yourself. So I'm doing weekly weigh-ins now, instead of like daily, which was
No, daily
pretty
was
obsessive
no.
before.
Yeah, you can't do daily.
And it's great because it gives you like everything from your full body weight to your body fat percentage to your
Mm-hmm.
bone mass percentage, even your protein percentage. The subcutaneous fat is measured. That's like the fat that's underneath your skin all over your body.
Mm-hmm.
So it measures everything, and it tells you also your body score. You know, mine just happens to say needs exercise, which is a nice way of saying you still fat bitch, you need to lose some weight, get out the house and do some work.
Rude.
um
It's rude.
yeah, incredibly disrespectful. But man, that app has really helped me. That and my fitness pal together has been really awesome in helping me to lose weight this year. It's been a much more positive and controlled experience than it has been in the past. That is for sure.
Right, we could get a little carried away with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I for sure think we could get carried away. I just was thinking like this is an app I really, you know, but I think what I like is that people have finally realized. Somebody told me it's not you find the diet, it's you find what works for you. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
really important in health. And whether it's Apple or Beachbody, I like the ability to sweat and choose. And that's one of the things about Beachbody that made me wean off a bit. It's like something new wasn't coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I did the 80 days one, I really enjoyed that. I did that last summer. I really enjoyed it. Um, but I was like, I need something a little bit different. So what I liked about Apple, I'm sure Peloton has it, is that like tomorrow's Wednesday, so it's a mixed day for me. I'll do some strength. I'll probably won't do strength because I did strength today, but I'll do some cardio, I'll do some yoga, and I'll do some core. And I like
Mm.
that. I like that, which in Beachbody, because they're like 30 minutes, you can't really do a mix, although they do a mix. And the only program I really like is Amber's. So I'm like, eh, but I like the mix and match. But moving on to other apps, I have weird apps that I really like. Another app that some of you will think I'm completely nuts about is I like Sims. I play
Yes.
Sims all the time.
Dude,
Actually,
how
I
do you
play
have
three.
time to do this between your millions
Some
of.
people meditate, others play Sims. Okay?
So is this played on your phone, or is it
It
played
is
on
played
your
on my
desktop,
phone.
or is it played on both?
It's played on my phone only. So, okay, I'm a bit of a gamer. I've always been a bit of a gamer. I've played Legend of Zelda. I like Tetris. I like that type of stuff. It makes your brain. But the three games, I guess I should put them all under game apps. The three game apps I play the most are Sims, Design Your Home, what's it called? Yeah, Design My Room, and styling. So you dress up the outfits and the models, and you have to put outfits together. Sims is more of a revolutionary game that I play because my whole town of Sims is all righteous. They all have
Yeah.
Persian.
You told us
Black,
it's very
African. Yeah, I've told you,
racialized.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's this whole racialized Sims
This is
game
amazing.
where
Mm-hmm.
everybody be balling. Everybody's got lots of money living in mansions. They're like, you should see, I had to look up Persian names. They all have Arabic, African, Persian, Asian names. It's my ideal
I love
society.
this though. I want to live in your Sims world.
That's what I'm saying. And everybody makes at least over 200 G's every day because they go to work
Yes.
and
Yes.
they drive multiple cars and they go on vacations. They have ski
Ballers.
lodges. And Zach, oh, Mr. Z, my husband is like, babe, put this game down. But I started playing it in the pandemic and it gave me, I don't know, it just,
It makes you feel
I,
good, girl. If
I
it makes
just,
you feel
I'm,
good, go for
it
it.
reminds me, I don't know, I'm thinking about all the things I hate in the world. So I make my Sims world perfect.
It gave you a
Yeah.
I'm mad
release.
at
You
you.
know, it was a very
Mhm.
stressful time during the pandemic.
And
So this
design
was
my
a
room. I don't know. I like design my room. And I like the style. It's called Styling Pocket. That's what it's called. And you put their outfits together and yeah. But Sims is
Mm.
the one I've been playing the longest. It's yeah. And I don't kill certain characters, so some of them are immortal.
So can I ask you a question? Are you
Yeah.
at all interested in the metaverse?
Um no.
No.
I'm not interested in anything I have to learn. I'm a self-learner, by the way. I don't read instructions. I do it hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
So Meta Universe is fine, and I've seen it and stuff. I also try to play a game called Upland where you actually make money as you play. If it was Sims, I'd be rich.
You'd be
Mm-hmm.
balling.
But I don't know, there's something and I like the quest. So no, I'm not used to and maybe I'm not ready for Meta Universe. Maybe.
Well, I understand what you're feel. I understand your feelings towards it because it is like having to learn a whole new thing all over again, you know. But I would
Yeah, and I don't
assume
have
that
the
it
brain
is.
power.
I would assume it is very much like, you know, The Sims because Sims has been around for ages. So anyway, I was just curious.
I love it.
Um,
I play it all the time.
I don't have any game apps on my phone. I used to. I used to play blackjack. That used to be my thing. It was in preparation for a Las Vegas trip, but I'm not trying to lose money I don't have, so I don't do
Mhm.
it. Yeah, I'm not really into the games. But you mentioned earlier about yoga, and there is one app that it's not really a fitness app, but it is actually an app that well, there's two. There's obviously the Youversion Bible app. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of academics use that, a lot of regular people use it. It's not just like having a digital format of the Bible in your phone, but you get like videos, you get daily
Yeah.
devotions. I'm currently reading one called excuse me, The Happiness Habit right now, which
Okay.
is all about like finding happiness in a variety of different areas in your life, being
That's really
grateful,
cool.
gratitude. So I try to read that every morning as part of my morning routine. And then the other app is Headspace, which is a
Yes.
Okay,
meditation
yeah.
app.
Love Headspace.
Love Headspace.
Love it.
When I was frequenting, when I was at the WeWork offices before the pandemic hit, I used to use the Headspace app like at least 5 to 10 minutes before the end of my
Hmm.
lunch break because I needed to have quiet in my mind just so I could be prepared
Mm.
for all the afternoon activity. And I always found that even just like 5 minutes, it doesn't seem like a lot and it doesn't seem like it really makes much of a difference. But man, when you go back to your seat and you're plowing away at the keyboard and you've got all the stuff that you've got that needs to get done, you definitely a lot more balanced and in a better position to take on those tasks than, you
Mm.
know, if you don't have a little bit of quiet in your mind. And so I always loved Headspace. I never actually, I think I tried out a free trial and then I did subscribe, but then I canceled it because I wasn't using it that much. But I still love the app, still have it on my phone. It is a great tool for meditation. Highly recommend that.
They give it to teachers for free during the pandemic.
That's
Oh,
dope.
you
No, no, they did.
definitely need
Headspace
it.
Headspace did definitely gave a lot of free subscriptions out during the pandemic, and it was the first app that I can say, it was the only platform that I can say allowed me to successfully meditate, because I could not for the
Mm,
life of me figure out how to meditate. And Headspace
Mhm.
was literally the one that talked me through rising above the noise, right? Like to
mm,
Yeah.
actually
mm.
be in, and I love it. And you're so right, Mara. It's such a great app. And I actually don't have it on this phone because I have a, not a new phone, but since I got a new phone, I didn't download it, but now I will, thanks to you. I did want to touch on the gaming. It's highly embarrassing, but I have an app called Cooking Madness on my phone,
I'm with it.
and I have spent money on Cooking Madness. So let me
what
I've
explain
spent
to
what
it.
is
you,
cooking madness?
because it's a fucking sinking hole, and they know what they're doing, these assholes. Because I can cook up a goddamn meal for 30,000 guests, but at some point, if you don't pay, you just cannot win the level. And I refuse. I refuse. Because I am
To
a cooking
lose.
G. Yo, I know
I
I can
get
do
it.
this. You make it impossible to do this. So if I have to buy a few diamonds, man, fuck it. I'm going to buy a few diamonds and I'm going to get
I'm
through
with
this
it.
damn level. God damn it.
I agree. I'm with it.
You do what you gotta do.
I did what I had to
Yes,
do
you do what you
too
got to
many
do.
times. One week I spent like $7.99 three times in the week, and I was like, okay, Azar, that is enough. Now you need to put this goddamn thing down. This is how, because I'm telling you, they know what they're doing, Mar, because you cannot win the level without it. You can't win it.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
that's the
anyway,
bait. That's the bait to keep you hooked on and
it's
keep paying. And yeah, yeah.
it's been a minute since I've played
Before
Cooking
you know it,
Madness.
2 hours have passed, and you're wondering, what have I done?
So I mean,
I
like, and I
know.
get highly competitive with myself on that game, and I'm pretty great at it. But
I get it.
Besides Cooking Madness, I love playing Sudoku, ladies. I don't know if you know that
Mm.
about me, but I'm a huge fan of Sudoku, and so was my mom. And it's one of the things that I do to try to keep my brain sharp, if you will. I
Yeah.
do spend about, 10 to 15 minutes every day if I can, maybe every other day, to try to do an expert level Sudoku challenge, just because I do feel like we have to exercise everything, right? And this is
Yeah.
one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that I want to exercise in terms of trying to keep my mind sharp. I'm
Absolutely.
sure there's a lot more. I know there's a lot more of the I've played with a few other apps that are like for basic mental exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's games like that.
There's
Yeah, but
Luminary. Luminary is
right.
another popular one. Yeah.
But Sudoku is my go-to. So
See,
that's that.
I try out the game apps, but then I get rid of them really quickly. Like I do it for about
Good for
maybe
you.
a week, and then it's like,
Don't give
I
them your
lose
credit card
interest
number.
really quickly. I'll never give anybody
Mm.
my credit card number, except for maybe my
Yeah.
fitness pal. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
But I'm with you. I'm with you both. I have a whole section on my phone. It's called God, and it
Okay.
has all my God apps in there. And it's the
Yeah.
first bubble of apps because God is first. And it's got like you were saying, it's got the
U
Youversion.
version. Yeah.
It's got Quran stories, which I really enjoy. It's
Mm.
got Day 365 and Athen. And Athen has been running my life recently because we're in Ramadan. And I actually appreciate Youversion and Athen. I read them both in the morning. So for listeners, well, it's complicated, but I wake up in the morning, read Quranic stories, Quranic scripture, Version, and then bell hooks. Those are my three things that I read in the morning.
Mhm.
And what I like about Asin during Ramadan is that it gives you like it selects particular surahs or verses to read for particular reasons. So like yesterday it was like, oh, read this surah to protect yourself against illness, or read this one for travel. And I really do enjoy the fact that it breaks down the categories, and that you can find the verse that suits you for what you need. And I love that. And I love you Bible because I love the Youversion because I love the speaking of Mr. Z, I see him walking. I love the plans. So there's
Yeah.
one that I read called Dealing with Anxiety. Like if things are feeling anxious for me, I read that one. And I like the fact that I don't have to share it with anybody because it asks you, do you want this to be private or do you want to share this with friends? No, I don't want to share it with nobody.
Yeah.
So
I keep
I
all of my
really,
plans private as well. Like nobody
it's
needs to
nobody's
know why
business.
I'm reading The Happiness Habit
I don't care.
you know, 10 leadership skills for, you know, over the course of like 30 days or 90 days or
Yeah.
whatever.
And
It's
now
your
they've
personal
added,
thing.
podcasts. So I really enjoy that. And I like Athen because Athen will tell me when it's time to break fair. It will tell me like I love the fact that it kind of reminds you, whereas Apple Watch is kind of feisty and says, have you gotten up yet? Like it says, it's time to stand up. And I'm like, you're rude. You're rude. So I do like Athen. I do like my God apps a lot
Mhm.
and I appreciate them. I appreciate them. I find it easy. It connects. It's informative. So yeah, those are my kosher apps or my halal
Well,
apps, I
they're
should
your
say, on my
mindful
phone.
apps. And you're right about it being really quick because like to be honest, I don't want to spend like an hour on
No.
meditation and daily devotionals. I mean, I got a long prayer list, but it's like that is long enough as it is. Let me just do a really quick, you know, moment to, you know, be mindful and so I can move on with my day. And it's a great for, you know, if you want to have a quick morning routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually did this app, by the way, Habits of Happiness. I looked that plan.
It's
I did
great.
that plan.
It's a
I'll
great
do it
plan.
again.
Great plan.
I'm go ahead.
I was going to say that on the so there's another app that I have on my phone that I downloaded a few years back, and I downloaded this app when you know, like every other person tried to do like a whole drop shipping store online. So
Hmm.
I found out
Hmm.
about this app long time ago, but I started really using it like in 2020, 2021, and it is basically it's an app called Think Dirty, and it ain't is
Oh.
not what you think. The app is it's basically an app that's gives you an opportunity to see the ingredients in your personal products. So there's beauty products,
Oh,
household
I like
products,
that.
all of those things you've got at home. What you can do is you can actually scan those products using the Think Dirty app, and it gives it a rating between 1 and 10 as to whether it is safe to use or not, and if it's got a bunch of chemicals in it that might not necessarily be
Mm.
healthy
Oh
for you.
my gosh, this is
And
cool.
it's one of the reasons why I weaned myself off of deodorants with aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that I was being smart by buying another major brand of deodorant that didn't have aluminum in it. It said it was aluminum free, so I thought, oh, it must be good. Nope. There's tons of other chemicals
Oh
that they put in
no.
deodorants that are pretty harmful to the body. And so
Mm.
using this app has taught me so much. I mean, all the ingredients that you would normally never be able to pronounce and can't read, yeah, that's why you shouldn't use it because there's like associations with like cancer
Oh my
and
God.
specific types of cancers too. Breast cancer, ovarian cancer.
Oh my
It even
goodness.
goes into like how harmful some of these ingredients could be to your reproductive system. So if you're intending to become pregnant, there could actually be some ingredients in those products that are actually going to hinder you from being able to be pregnant. And so when I started reading all of the ingredients, it was like I was obsessed. I started scanning everything in my bathroom. It was
I'm doing it
insane.
right now.
I'm about
Great
to
app,
download it.
Really, really good. I've concluded that you just got to go back to basics, like, all the products from the motherland: shea butter,
Yeah,
coconut oil, castor oil,
Baking
all the
soda.
basics. That's really where you just need to focus your energy, because a lot of these, beauty brands, they're not that healthy for you. So that was one of the apps that I learned about over the last few years. And
love it.
yeah, it's great. I mean, if you want to scan your body lotions, your
Well, I'm
face
about to
wash
scan my
products,
deodorant.
yeah, everything. I mean, I've changed my whole toiletries section in the bathroom because of this.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
because
it.
I use a product called Green Beaver.
Hmm.
It's a deodorant, so I'm about to give that little scan later and think how it better be clean. I don't want no dirty stuff on my body.
The interesting thing is that with this app, not only do you become obsessed with with scanning everything, like it just makes you more conscious of what you're willing to
Yeah,
spend your money on down the road. But the thing with
absolutely.
the deodorant without the aluminum is that a lot of them aren't very long lasting. That's my only problem with them. Like, sometimes I've had to walk around with it in the summertime to make sure I can reapply. And it looks kind of
Right.
weird
Mm.
and kind of gross doing that, but I mean, you know, it's
Better than
anyway.
cancer.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
apparently mine's is pretty good. Thank God. Green Beaver is pretty
Well,
good.
there you go. Great app. Really, really awesome app.
Thanks for that. That
Mm.
was that was a really great suggestion, Mar. I'm definitely gonna be scanning everything in the
Yeah,
house and throwing stuff
there's
out
no pork.
probably.
There's nothing going on in Green Beaver.
Hmm.
Well, Green
Well, there
Beaver
you
can
go.
stay. I'm very careful about what I use for religious reasons, but also facial reasons. My face is very sensitive, so I tend to use only certain products.
Hmm.
I use Green Beaver, I like sage, and I buy a lot of shea butter. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
Shea
A
butter
f-
is the truth. Yeah.
and a friend of ours does, I guess, is in the skincare business. And I actually need to shout out a skincare business. It is expensive to get, but well worth it. It's called Kasil Beauty. It's a Somalian brand. Met them in Kenya. No, not K, QASIL. They use black charcoal oil. It's all like cruelty free, pork free, food free, whatever. Um, I've been using them since I came back from Kenya and love it. I enough that I paid the $7, $70 duty to get it here.
Dang,
So,
Ooh.
son.
yeah, so I
Wow.
like a brand. And it's of course it's black owned, it's Muslim owned. The ingredients, I've met these sisters, is female owned. And yeah, I really do enjoy using their products and I feel like my skin is feeling very happy with it. So we're good to go. Like that's a brand that I tend to like. And I've been more and more very conscious of what I've always been conscious what's going on in my
Hmm.
body. But that was one. Thanks for that, Mar.
Hmm. Think dirty.
Going think dirty. I love it. I love it. So another app that I use, which is not very popular, that people probably think it's a little bit weird. I tend to use this app called Simple Wealth. I like it, or yeah, is it called Simple Wealth or Wealth? Let
Wealth
me see. Let me
Simple,
pull.
the
Wealth
finance app,
Simple.
yeah, for the
Yeah. I
brokerage, yeah,
For
investment
people
stuff.
who are like financially stupid like me,
Not stupid,
wealth.
illiterate.
I don't want
Illiterate.
to be. No, I'll go with stupid. I don't like illiterate.
Financially illiterate.
Uh, Financially in progress. I don't want to. I don't want to be
There you
illiterate.
go. In progress.
Exactly. They really explain it really well. Again, they're easy, accessible. I found it really easy to open up an account. I open up an account and now it just takes money and it does what it wants. I don't care. But it's there. It's doing its thing. Well, simple. Yeah, it's doing
Yeah.
its thing. I it just takes the money from my account and it just keeps building it up. And I'm like, okay, I'm down. It's cool. And I can get it out when I want. I can move it and transfer it. I'm looking at it here. Like you can transfer it to a TFSA, RSP, or personal. You can put it in a savings. You can withdraw it if you want.
So
I,
essentially, this app, all it does is it basically is withdrawing money from your checking account, and it just keeps it there. Is it kind of like just
well, I
sort of
put it
like
in an
a
investment account. So
okay,
it's
okay.
my first investment account.
And so it's
So when
self-directed. You're picking what investments you
well,
wish
it
to have.
asks you. It
Okay.
asks you. So you can either invest on an autopilot, which is me, or you can open up, like you can transfer or you can start a new account. You can also open up a savings account, and you can move funds around. So it actually sent me a message recently saying, "Hey, you might want to move your money into another account." And I was like, "Okay, I'll look." But again, it could be a trick, but I just found it really simple to open up this investment. So, um I appreciate Wealth Simple, and it
So,
follows its
well,
name.
Wealth Simple, I was actually just going to ask if it's like North American wide, but it looks like it's only Canadian.
It
I
could
was
be.
gonna say there's a lot of limitations with those apps across the countries and even across states. For example,
Yeah.
when the whole pandemic happened and everybody was really interested in investing in Bitcoin, there were so many different apps that would work in one state and not another because of the various
Mm,
regulations.
Yeah,
Um,
with
and
payments and
so,
transferring money
yeah,
from different banks. Yeah, yeah.
right, correct.
uh,
So,
yeah, but
So
I have other things for that.
what's the equivalent then in the US?
oh
Do
my
you
gosh, there
girls
are
know?
so many apps that are, whether it's savings, investments, even Cash App, even using you can use Cash App to invest.
Mhm.
But I personally use Robinhood. It's been awesome for me. I made a nice little chunk of
Chunk of
change.
change?
Yeah, I invested in Moderna really early, thanks to some
Oh,
financially aware friends that I had, and I also invested in Doge. I don't know if it's Doge or Dog or I don't know
Yeah,
that Doge,
Dogecoin.
Dojo.
Yeah.
but I didn't pull out early enough, so that thing is just sitting there. But I could have made a nice little chunk of money off of that too. But basically, I used Robinhood, and that was literally my first foray into any kind of investments or stocks.
Mm.
So, and it's a really easy app to use. And I loved it. I still look at Robinhood. I'm not as obsessed with it as I was during the pandemic because the stocks are not what they were,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm.
but I'm fine. I got a little investment going, so it's good. But I wanted to ask you guys, besides the wealth and financial apps, do you guys have any productivity apps that you use to keep you guys?
I have tons,
I would love
tons.
to
I was
hear
trying to
Share,
about
because I'd
them.
avoid
love
that.
to know.
I was trying to avoid productivity because half of my phone is productivity. I work from my phone tremendously. You know, when it gives you those, um, this is how many hours you've spent on your phone.
Mm.
And I was like, can you break that down by game or by productivity? Because I spent actually, I'm going to tell the truth here and shame the shaitan and shame the devil, listeners. I have two phones, one for gaming and one for business.
Wait,
Yeah,
did we know this?
yeah.
Mar, did you know this?
No, no,
No,
no.
no. I actually have two phones as well, but one of them is not even, it hasn't even been used.
Okay, I don't
How
know
do you
about
guys
that.
have so many phones? I have
Okay, so
one
I
phone.
have two iPhones, an iPhone 8 and my current iPhone. So one doesn't have a chip, like it doesn't have a SIM,
A
but
SIM
of
card?
course it
Okay.
connects to an internet, right?
Right.
So
Wi-Fi
to
only.
wean myself
Mhm.
off my games, I don't download the apps on my primary phone because I would
I
play
see.
it.
Yeah.
So I put it on my old phone where I
Mhm.
could play the games at night like a treat, like a like a
Right.
reward.
No, that's
Like
actually a really smart strategy. Really
because I'll
good.
get it. Yeah, because when and also it takes up your battery. Like no one
It
has time for
does.
that.
True,
So
true.
the old phone has my Sims and all my games and also has my other Facebook. And then my current phone has all my productivity. And I mean, I have tons of productivity apps. So, Oz, just to let you know, I'm not a person who does well with my phone trying to tell me what to do
Mhm.
because I'm a writer. I write everything else I need to do. Like I have like I'll show you. I have like pads that are different colors And each week I have a list and they go by the color. So this is so when my app tries to tell me to do something, I can ignore it. But when the sticky note tells me to do something, it means, yo,
You
yo,
better
Gotta
get
get
that
it
shit
done.
done.
get that
Yeah.
ish done. So, but on my phone, I have a number of productivity apps. I have Outlook, Teams, Word. Hold on, let me tell you what else I have. Outlook. I have reminders, which I think I'm going to delete because I don't use it. I have notes. I have sheets. I have numbers. I have pages. I have keynotes. I have clips. I have Meet, Slides, and Hangout. But the one I have to say I love the most, that makes me the most happy, is Canva.
Oh, I
Out of
love
Mm.
all the
Canva.
productivity ones, because I run a business and I need to have accessibility to everything. So one app
Mhm.
that I have that I suggest people who are in business who want to protect their stuff is to get Authenticator. So I have an app called Authenticator. What Authenticator does, it gives me a special code or an approval to open up my business emails on my phone to make sure it's me. So if I don't authenticate it, it won't open it, which is fine because one of the clients that I have is a high-end client and their stuff is sensitive information. So
Mhm.
Authenticator opens up. It opens up my school emails. It opens up my business emails. And without me, and if I can't access Authenticator, it will give me a code to enter into Authenticator. So it's
Mm.
almost like Google when Google's trying to identify who we are, but it really takes it to a next level. Like the app's image for Authenticator is like a lock with a
Yeah.
person inside.
Google
And
Authenticator.
I
yeah, so
have
I
that
really
too.
like Authenticator because it protects my data and it actually will say, you're not getting in. Like, too bad for you if I don't approve it. It will say deny. Not even this is the wrong code. It just says deny. So I
Mhm.
really like out of all the productivity apps, I like Authenticator the most. But for fun and helps you make really cool things really quickly, Canva. I really enjoy Canva. I feel like Canva you could make a Canva advertisement anywhere,
Mhm.
anywhere. Like I have literally sat on my phone and made like invitations for certain events on Canva, sitting down watching TV. And I like it
Mostly your
because
birthday.
yeah. Oh yeah, I do actually I did my wedding invitations on Canva for the 20 people who actually got an invitation. They were lucky they got that because to me it was supposed to be 3 people. Um, but I did Canva for graduation, for my students' graduation. I've done a save a date, like for graduation, like actually made a movie ticket for the
Mhm.
kids. I've done Instagram post on Canva. I love them. I love Canva. I like the preset designs. I love the ease. I love the accessibility. A lot of the free stuff is cute, and you can upload your own images and make that your background. So shout out to productivity with Canva. But
Mhm.
Oz, I must have at least 10 productivity because it's all wrapped around to my business.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was asking more about a productivity
Like
app in terms of a
task
tool to
managers and
write, like
things
a
like
task
that.
manager
I
and
don't like
stuff.
them.
So the one that I really wanted to love, guys, I wanted to love it so much, was an app called Fabulous. And I don't know if you've heard about it, but I tried and I didn't even realize that not only did I try once, but I tried twice because I recently downloaded Fabulous. And then when I looked at the reviews, I saw my own negative review from like, I don't know, 4 years ago. I had totally forgot. But anyway,
Hey,
so
that was me.
it was literally me saying like, this is trash, give me a refund. But I really tried. For some reason this app keeps appealing to me over and over, but it just doesn't work for me. It's I want to create good habits. So I want to just preface this as saying I'm really good with I do well with to-do lists. I do well with having a structure, and but I fall off habits very quickly and I need the motivation to stay on track. Um, and these, I think that apps are very appealing to me. Technology is very appealing to me. So I'm always looking for that one magical app that'll keep me on track. And
Mhm.
so I tried Fabulous again recently. and it starts with just drinking a cup of water every morning for 3 days in a row, and it was magical. And then there was so much reading, and then it was just too cluttered. And basically, can we just get to the point? Can we have an app that makes me feel excited to pursue good habits and have a morning routine and a day
Yeah.
routine and a night routine and a,
I
you
get
know?
it. But
And
that's you. You
honestly,
are the
that's
magical app.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the intrinsic motivation as Mar does to be able to be her own coach and do the things. But for me, I do use Anydo. I don't know if you guys have heard of Anydo. It's like a to-do list, but it's a really great, like, it reminds you, it goes through your day, it kind of prompts you. I actually want what you don't want, Nesha. I want my phone to tell me what to do. I want my phone to remind me to get my ass up. I want my phone to, like, I need somebody on the outside being like, bitch, get it together. And so I'm constantly on the search for that one app that's going to get my whole life together, basically.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think you're going to find that app. I've
I
tried
agree.
that too. I have tried it for like 5 years now. I have been looking for an app that will be able to help me in that capacity. And it's just, I download the apps and then I use them for about a week. I think the most I've gotten to was maybe 30 days. And then it just, it just falls off. And then I remove the apps because
Yeah.
the other thing too that bothers me is that I don't want it integrated with my calendar. And the thing is, when it asks for access to my calendar, I have a lot of stuff in my calendar already. I don't want all of my to-dos in that calendar.
It's
Like, I want to
cluttered. There's
leave
got to
it
be a
for
better way.
appointments. And yeah,
Right.
exactly. And so the thing that I found is I just started inserting all of my to-dos in my calendar. And
Yeah.
that's really what I've been doing. The reminders, the notifications go off. I can snooze or dismiss them. And that's really how I've managed to work my way around, building better habits. But I will say, Oz, if you ever get a chance, get your hands on Atomic Habits. Have you read
Okay.
that book yet?
No.
Okay, Atomic Habits is a really great book, and I highly recommend it for anyone who is looking to break bad habits. And what Atomic Habits is, it's teaching you that the reason your habits fail is because since you have been a child, you have been repeating the same bad habits. It's just innate. It has been in you for ages. And what it does is it teaches you that it's not necessarily about the goal that you're trying to attain, but it's more about the
The
systems that you
habit.
set in
Yeah.
place to get to that goal. And so it's all about creating less friction between you and those tasks to then help you achieve that
Yeah.
goal. That book is going to change your life. And I highly recommend that you get it if you can. I'll send you a
do
link
it.
so you can get the audiobook. But it's
I was
really,
gonna
really
just
good.
say, I'm probably not gonna read the book. I'm gonna use another one of my favorite apps, Audible, to
Yeah.
listen to the book, because nowadays when I try to read, I fall asleep, which is terrible. I blame this on age. I wish I had the attention span and the energy to read a book, but for some reason, books put me right down. It's like a sleeping pill. But I do listen to a lot of self-help and self-development books on Audible, which is another truly awesome app that I suggest to everyone. But I will absolutely take a look at Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
And
Atomic
listen to it
Habits,
on
yeah.
my Audible.
See, I'm a person who, I think I work in a domain that requires me to be organized. Organization makes me feel happy, and habits produce results. So
Good habits.
so I enjoy it. I like
Frictionless
following a
habits.
schedule. I like following a schedule when I eat. I like to know what I'm going to eat. I like to know what needs to be done. It makes my mind at ease. So
Yeah, you're a
I
planner
don't
and an
like,
organizer for
and I
sure.
don't
Yeah.
like the apps because I can't hold it and touch it. But when I see, like, if you can't see, but above me, there's these sticky notes that are like, okay, we've got to do this, da 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 da. I like that. I like that part. I like feeling organized. I sit down on Sundays. I plan out the week. I know what has to be done, and I like time management. I'm one of
Mhm.
those people who enjoy it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I had one habit that took me 41 years to break, Oz. So don't feel bad. It was my eating habits. It took me
Mhm.
41 years to break that
Mhm.
habit. And now I can't see myself ever going back to it because it's been 4 years of consistently eating relatively well, like in
Mhm.
moderation. And now it's like, so let me give you an example. A friend of mine at school's Caribbean, their mom made coconut sweetbread. So I said, okay, I'll have a
Mm.
piece. I dropped into some sugar shakes because it was too much
Oh
sugar. It's out of
no.
my sugar domain. I
Wow.
eat Weetabix, as you know,
Yes.
and I had my
With dark
Weetabix
chocolate.
with dark chocolate chippets with oat
Mhm.
milk.
Mhm.
And I had my Weetabix, but that extra portion of sugar sent me in a total crash. I was like, "Oh no, I liked you, but you won't be going back in my body," because I was tired. I was exhausted because the sugar, it's too much. And for me, I actually get sugar rushes. Like I get sugar rushes, I get the shakes, I don't feel good. So me and sugar are done. But there is an app that I have to tell you that I actually like it enough that I bought the full version of it. And that's hard. It's called Flow.
Ah,
It's an
love
app.
flow. Love it.
Love Flow, extremely informative. So for those of
Mhm.
you who don't know Flow, it's an app for your cycle, for menstrual cycles.
Oh yes,
But
I have
it
one of
does
those.
more than just menstrual cycles. It's a sexual wellness and health app. It lures you in through your cycle and then just tells you everything. And I love it. So normally I use I period, which I still use, but I've noticed that I've used Flow more because Flow will say, I think today you'll be experiencing this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was experiencing this. And
That's
then
cool.
it makes you clock in so let me give you an example. I always feel unwell right before my cycle. So I get period flu. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So I told Flo, and Flo's like, "Oh, well that's normal because this is dropping, this hormone is dropping, and this hormone is coming up. And if you're experiencing headaches, yo, Flo even tells you how to masturbate and when you should masturbate and what
Oh my
makes you
god.
feel good masturbating.
Okay then, Flo.
Flow is life for me. I love Flow. If I have a headache, I pop it into Flow and it says, this is what's going on with your body. Henceforth, this could be producing the headache. I didn't even realize. Can you imagine? I'm a woman. I've had my cycle for 44 years. No, that's not true. 34 years. I had my cycle when I was 10. And I never realized that after my cycle, my breasts were tender. I only noticed the tenderness before your cycle. But when you're ovulating, your breasts get tender.
Yeah.
Flo told me that. I was like, oh, yeah. I had a little touch and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Flo. So remember you saying you would love if your parents had told you these?
Yeah.
Someone like you all who had a parent like y'all invented Flo. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
sure.
downloading Flow. I'm
I'm
downloading
I'm
Flow
Flo.
I'm a big fan of
immediately.
flow. It is great if you want to log your menstrual cycle, if you want to make sure that you don't get
Absolutely.
pregnant. Great for men who want to keep track of what their wives or girlfriends are going through. Really, really important. And
Yeah.
yeah, you get to log in all of your symptoms leading up to your period. You get to log in your symptoms during ovulation. It tells you which days are best to conceive, which days are not very good for
Yeah, it says
conception.
high pregnancy.
Yeah, and it taps in every once in a while. It checks in with you to let you know, hey, like you said, Nisha, today you might be feeling this way. Today you might be experiencing these symptoms and so forth. And yeah, it's just a nice, reassuring tool, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
To tell you, hey, you're not alone. We're all in this
Yeah.
together.
And there's a community but what I thought, to be honest, I mean the period stuff, I was like, okay, it was the sexual wellness component that I really, really liked. I thought, man, I can add, I mean, any questions that my students might have, I'm going to just pop them into Flow and see what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the fact that it was actually encouraging you, like it's actually one of the topics is sex on your period, or, you know, what feels good when you're masturbate, or why don't you orgasm? So these are questions a lot of women don't ask. And Flow gives you that privacy to kind of explore those things without having to talk to a girlfriend or a doctor or whatever. And it also tells you, like, you know, maybe you should, this is the time. It also gives you, maybe you should meet like a doctor, but it also gives you not visual real images, but the colors of your cycle and what it
Mm-hmm.
could indicate. It's
Yeah.
extremely good
It's
for
intuitive.
self-identity.
Very,
It's
very
very much so.
intuitive. Yeah.
And it's probably one of the apps that changed the game for me, because when
Mm-hmm.
a woman's in her 40s, her cycle changes. And a lot of, well, actually, fun fact, your cycle changes every 5 years. And a lot of us don't know that. We just go literally with the flow. And it's been interesting to, like, Flo and I've been able to build up a profile of me, because I have a reminder, Oz, from Flo that says, this is PMS week. Watch your moods, because you
Oh, I
be
love
biting
that.
people's heads off, because I'm a bad PMSer, and I will eat you up if you mess with me during that time period.
Yeah.
And now Flo sends a message to me saying, oh, you might be experiencing irritability. You're 5 days out from your cycle. These are some of the things you should do to restore your balance. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because sometimes, you know, people get destroyed during PMS week. My tongue is sharp. It's true. Sometimes I just look at kids and I'm like, please
Yeah.
leave me alone.
It's
I
hard
tell
to
them nicely,
it's hard.
please leave me alone.
It's hard to
Please leave me
contain your
alone.
emotions on that.
Yeah, so Flow is my top app.
Well, ladies, that's a wrap for us. We're going to go, but I definitely want to let the listeners know that if they have any app recommendations for us,
Please.
Especially productivity apps, I'm interested in that as well. Please let me know. And there's a few others that I didn't get to, but we can always, you know, have like a part 2 of the show, if you will.
Oh, for sure.
To go over that. But please continue listening.
So much today.
Share this episode with your friends, and we'll be back next week with more messy truths.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, y'all. Peace.
Peace.